over as we are just mere moments away from the Super Bowl. Two teams now have a chance to prove they are the best. It's the Seahawks going up against the Texans.
Larry, it has been a wild ride through this 2019 NFL season. Plenty of plot twists and turns at every step. But it all comes to a conclusion tonight as we welcome you to Super Bowl 54 from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. Well over 100 million people watching around the world. Welcome to you all. Super Bowl 52 underway from Minneapolis. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. First and 10, it's Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. He's at the 30, the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. And on the grandest of stages, with the whole world watching the Super Bowl, they come out and get the first points.
I don't know how you feel about Brandon, but for me, watching the beginning of the Super Bowl, I've often wondered how come it's not just a fumble fest? How come the ball's not all over the place? The nerves, the interim in between of the 2 weeks waiting for the game. But this team came out and handled it just like it was a regular season walk in the park. Terrific start.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. First down throw, Watson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24, and his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Charles, earlier we talked a lot about Russell Wilson, what a great job he did last year in 2017 as Seattle's offense is working their way back onto the field. But they're probably going to need to find a running game to alleviate some of that pressure on Wilson, right?
Yeah, you think? I mean, my goodness, when you take a look at what Russell Wilson did, he more than doubled the rushing yardage of Mike Davis, who finished second. And Mike Davis didn't begin the year on Seattle's roster. They went through a number of runners this season, none of them that fit and really hit. Chris Carson, they thought, was going to be the guy who got hurt early in the year, but they definitely have to find a running game and get back to playing that Seattle football of run first and let Russell Wilson take over from there.
We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division every year is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
On third down, Wilson over the middle, complete. It's Richardson. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And this may be a big early turning point in this Super Bowl. They're going to go for it on 4th down here. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Kevin Johnson. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Charles, let's step into a conversation about Houston in 2017 as their offense comes back onto the field here. But just 1-9 in their last 10 games, finished 4-12. You and I know, though, injuries really ravaged this team.
Absolutely destroyed this team. And look, we focus on Deshaun Watson, the quarterback, and rightly so. He was probably going to be the rookie of the year. But when it started for injuries, it was defense. J.J. Watt, perennial all-pro, goes out early. Whitney Merciless, double-digit sack guy out. Brian Cushing, starting linebacker, out. When you start totaling up the injuries they have through the year, it's almost amazing that they made it through the entire season able to play the schedule. So that's what you're looking at with the Texans, who have been a defense-first team. If they can get everyone back healthy, playing to their level, and get Deshaun Watson back sparking the offense, optimism will be high in 2018.
They go play action here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
Here's Watson now on second down. He's going to fire one deep over, thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles, the backup quarterback turned MVP, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. As you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game, not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game, and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
They run it with Carson. That good for 19 on a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
The offense operating inside the 10 at the 8 here. It's first and goal. From the gun, it's Wilson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And it's second down. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
After a while, when you talk about J.J. Watt, you tend to run out of superlatives because he's just about done everything that a player can do in the league. NFL Defensive Player of the Year 3 times. Leads his team each and every game that he plays in. But the best part about him to me, besides the absolute physical talent, is that he elevates everyone else's game. He plays so well, plays so hard, that if you don't try to reach that and match that around him, it becomes obvious. So I think he elevates his team in that way.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defense...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Brian Cushing. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up fourth down.
And that's the kind of stand all defenses are seeking. Third and goal, backs against the wall, and they get a monster sack, and now they're going to force him into a field goal. For them, that's a win.
And he tugged this one badly. It's no good. Wide left. And this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. A first down carry now for Miller. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. On second down, here's Miller. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. Throwing on third down, Watson. And incomplete. Almost intercepted. The D lineman almost had it. Couldn't hang on.
The man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work.